If a business never had a claim, do they really need a deep policy review? If yes, how often a company should review or audit its insurance coverage?
So I will say that if the storm hasn't hit you yet, doesn't mean that there are no cliffs around.
Exactly.
I think अगर वो स्वाद चखा ही नहीं है claim का, तो policy का litmus test हुआ ही नहीं है. You know, though we should pray कि claim नहीं होना चाहिए, because but claim makes you more technically thorough in this process of getting a claim settled. We know what is there in the policy and how it is going to behave. Now come to the question that what is a review mechanism? If there is no claim, then the review is must, you know, and even if there is a claim, then also review is must. Why? Because just you look around, see the geopolitical situations around, DPDP Act coming in, compliance becoming stringent, role of NGT after so many explosions, you know, that is also coming up so deeply. And in that scenario, if you're just going by the traditional coverages of and having a feel that my policy is taking care of everything, fine, it might cover your present risk. What about the future opportunities? Are you well covered for the threats, cyber threats coming in, tariff war coming in? You know, so many uthal-puthal going on. You have to keep yourself updated, and that's why I think a review is required. I'll say not only a policy review, but also a review of the safety, you know, review of the compliances. Inside a factory, it's very important to review that how your safety standards are being maintained, because as I told, the compensations are heavy. I mean,
absolutely.
When NGT is going to catch you, the escape is not that easy. So are we only going to finalize and find out the nuances of the policies and review it from the perspective of getting an audit done? Or are we going to understand what are the risk exposures, you know, what are the changes coming up in the market, not only insurance market, but every market we have to analyze, and what are the safety features we have, and based on that we need to review our insurance policy. So I say it is more of a sync with the risk exposure, current exposure, future prospects, situations around in the market, which is very volatile. So yes, review is important, but for a safer side, I think it's an annual policy. So at least once in a year, it becomes very critical to analyze what are the risk exposures you have. And, you know, in between, there are so many changes going on. Just for an example, I'll say there's a chemical company. They are into manufacturing. They make some intermediary. And they were being rated in X category as per occupancy wise. And then there was no inspection and there was no review. It was just some insured valuation and all. And by chance, when we asked them that why can't we just inspect the premises and just have a look, they said so many insurance companies have just done the inspection. I'll share the report with you. Why you really want to do it? And I said, let us just do, because my engineers want to do it, and then we'll try to give you a loss prevention report and, you know, all that. We went from that perspective. When we were there, we realized that that client has started manufacturing a product B. So product A is different, the rating is different, and the product B which the client is making is different. The rating is different. So the whole insurance rating gets changed when you start manufacturing the product B and the policy is running with the same rate. So how you will analyze that review is important or not important, even from that perspective, had there been a claim, you know, survey would have questioned that you have started making a product B and your rating is not up to the mark. When we talk to clients, they say that it is a very minuscule quantity. It is just one of the product which we are making. How does it even make a difference? But it makes a difference in tariff. And it makes a difference when there is a claim. If there is a no claim, your policy is fine. You save that money. So from that perspective, I always say client that get your premises inspected every year. Let us review the existing policy. Understand what is new in the market, because market is changing. It is not stagnant like it used to be years ago. So yes, review is important. It can be a 6 monthly review or annual review, I think is must.
And also add to it with the example which you said, that if the client engages into a new product line, or is looking at some sort of an expansion, then the review becomes even more important,
Yes.
because that expansion could lead to a complication in the way the policy is structured,
That's
and
true.
could also lead to new risks being onboarded.
Yes.
So very well said. So once in a year minimum, but as and when the client is looking at an expansion, the review should happen.
Yes, and also with the circulars coming in, like Public Liability Act recently, I mean a year back, we got a circular that it should be, sum insured should be equivalent to the paid up capital. Now you are having a traditional policy, it's going on. I mean, how will you come to know when you just review it? When you review it, when you educate your client about the new circulars coming in, mandatory changes, and as per that you have to redesign, tweak, and maybe sometimes you have to cancel the policy and have a new one also in between. So there is no timeline for the review, for the circulars, for the changes. You have to keep on doing it as and when it is coming. Yes, but for a structural review, it should be at least once in a year.
Fantastic. Good. I think that's very well unpacked, because it talks very clearly about the review mechanism.